Come on in.
Okay.
Come on in.
All right.
We on 10. Let's begin.
Okay, now welcome to 4th and 1. Hey. I'm Fred. I say now welcome.
Come on in. Come on in. Let's begin. Okay. We on 10.
Okay, now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Did I tell you, Peggy, that I always got it done? I say now welcome.
Come on in.
All right.
Come on in.
Let's go.
We on 10. Let's begin.
Okay, now welcome to 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts by the ton before the rising of the sun.
Woo!
But this ain't me in the shotgun.
Oh, watch the lights, please. Watch the lights. Oh, the boy don't know he playing hockey and basketball. The Thrashers. Good away, boogie on the way. Oh, hold on, that's the grown man game. Oh, fade away. All right now, hello. Hey. Dang.
This is me in front of TV.
Come on, perform.
I say this me in front of TV.
Hey, turn it on.
Can't forget about Peggy in front of TV.
Peggy.
Well, Double D in front of TV.
Double.
Can we get BJ in front of TV?
Honey bun.
Jimbo in front of TV.
Subscribe, dog.
Okay. DT. TV.
Hey.
DT.
Hey.
Front of TV. I say this me in front of TV. Yeah. I say this me in front of TV.
Hey.
I go by Big Boogie in front of TV.
Big
Boogie in front of TV.
Okay.
Me in front of TV having a whole lot of fun.
Hey. That boy Boo, we back.
It's my favorite part of the show. My favorite part of the show. Because while we have you guys' attention, we have to mention that you will be put on suspension.
Hey.
And we hang around some henchmen. And not to mention, we will put you in detention.
All right.
If you don't like, share, comment, but Peggy, make sure they do what?
Subscribe, dog. Yeah. Come on now.
We got some newbies in the building. Let me see how they gonna buy in.
Hey.
We got some rookies in front of it. Let me see how they go buy in. But hey, we gotta keep showing them the way.
Yeah,
you gotta show them. You gotta lead by example.
Keep the show on the road.
All right. Let's see. Let me see what.
Oh, Paul.
Sheesh.
Don't choke on the smoke, brother. Don't choke on the smoke.
Oh, Christ. Beanie Weenie! Step up to the mic. While you got the people's attention, direct them to, instruct them to, right? Tell them what they should do. Make sure they like, make sure they share, make sure they comment. But most of all, Beanie Weenie, make sure they do what?
Subscribe, dog.
Yeah.
Is he not?
He buying in.
He buying in.
He buying in. He buying in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we could. We done went with acronyms and abbreviations now. For the people I talk about, they be like, yo, who is DT? That's Drop Top, ladies and gentlemen. Drop Top. Step up to the mic while we got the people's attention. Instruct the people. Direct the people. Tell the people. Remind the people. Make sure they like. Make sure they share. I say it again. Make sure they like. Make sure they share. I will say it one more time for your porcupine mind. Make sure they like. Make sure they share. Make sure they comment. But Drop Top, DT, make sure they do what? Subscribe, dog. Yeah!
He earned his keep.
He sold out.
He earned his keep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree,
Yeah.
Ain't cool no more.
Yeah.
Ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? They got this entitlement.
Just like subscribe now.
You know what I'm saying?
Lean in.
Subscribe, dog. See, this is going to be interesting. Because we got some new people.
Yeah. The book of
The book of Eli.
The book of Eli.
You know what I'm saying? He my cousin by way of, impregnation. You see what I'm saying? He got a lot of cool in him.
Yeah, he got the shades on. It ain't even
he got cool. It's dark in here. He's still cool.
He's still cool.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chatham County. Shout out to 912. Shout out to the people, you know what I'm saying, down there on River Street. You feel me? Eli.
The book.
That's what they call him. Mm-hmm. His mama called him Elijah. Elijah. E-Z-E. Remind the people to comment, like, share, comment, like, share. But Eli, make sure they do what?
Subscribe, dog.
Okay.
That's the first time.
Okay.
He tried to sell out.
He's still cool. He held it back. Now step aside, Clyde.
Uh-huh.
And let the veteran step up to the mic.
Do what you do.
You dig what I'm saying now? I will say this.
What's up, bro?
When we first got this individual, he was really like Eli. Mm-hmm. His mama called him Eliza, so I'm going to call him Eliza. He was like Eliza. Mm-hmm. Very cool, reserved,
quiet.
Didn't know how he would fit in into a melting pot of misfits. Yeah. But now, he's engulfed.
Let it all hang out.
He has been dipped in favor and flavor.
And flavor that you can savor.
So much that you can savor.
Come on now, bro.
Okay, Jimbo! The standard over here at 4th and 1 for reminding the people, instructing the people, telling the people, and making the people.
Say what?
Like, share. I said you like, share. You can share and like. But as you like, you share, and you comment, Jimbo, what should they do the most? Subscribe! Yeah! See, I think last week he kind of passed that to me. He had the ooh, ah, ah.
Yeah, he did that.
So Elijah, we understand where we at. You know what I mean? You gotta chill out. You gotta have a out of body. See, this ain't the cool kid.
Kona, no.
This the shrewd kid. The rude kids.
All right. Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go on and get into it, man. I'm ready to rock and roll. Here we go. First down. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. Nope, not there. First down. Hey, Cam Newton here, and this episode is brought to you by Roe. Confidence is everything. Women can sense it, and trust me, they love it. Well, if you're in your head and worrying about performance, that swagger can crush you. Roll Sparks keeps you ready. So when the moment hits, you can step up like a hero and handle business. No doubts, just confidence.
Fellas, Roll Sparks gets you ready fast, dissolving under your tongue and working in 15 minutes on average. No waiting, no missing the moment. Plus, it stays active up to 36 hours. So when that mood hits, you can go back to back, round and round. Roll connects guys with a medical provider 100% online. So there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. Go to roll.co/sparks to see if you qualify.
If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off on reoccurring plan. Connect with a provider at roll.co/force to find out if prescription Roll Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/forth for $15 off your first order. If approved, treatment ships directly to your front door. Compound drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For full safety information, go to ro.co/safety-info. Bar moment of the week. Let's see what we got.
So, from Dallas to Pittsburgh, George Pickens gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys, now a new Cowboy. All right, but it did not stop there, even though that was big news. First off, we have the post that someone made talking about the trade.
So it's funny because everybody back home, like in the off season, like they're like, yo, who y'all getting at quarterback? I'm trying to tell these people, we know when the media tells us.
I was on my way to the facility and I just checked my phone and I look and it's like breaking news.
Man.
Pittsburgh's trading.
But you
George
don't ever
Pickens
believe it till you see Adam on there. You know what I'm talking about? The front office isn't just making moves for like this year. You know, and that's kind of what I've had to learn. Like, they really trying to stack year on top of year on top of year. Like obviously us being in it, we want to win a Super Bowl every single year, but it's probably a little different for the front office. You know, like they make this trade, okay, we can set up for this pick this year, and obviously I have no clue what I'm talking about, but that's just the way I look at it. So I don't even really like where I'm at, I play ball, I try to do my job.
So Peyton Wilson and Benny Bishop made this video after George Pickens got shipped off to Dallas. In the comment below, George Pickens, or allegedly, George Pickens type, they are the cheapest organization. Ain't no stacking year after year. They gonna let them killers go too soon as it's time. And so that was, he laughed my butt off. And then literally, all right, so he commented back. So after he made this comment, he doubled back and said, literally on a plane, no service, just landed and seen straight lives from Pitts fans. Stop with the AI trying to make a story. I'm happy for everything the Steel City did for me. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there, George Pickens. So allegedly he did not make that comment. AI did it. But let's break it down in segments, all right? Talk about George Pickens and what he's going to add to the Cowboys first, and then let's get into this comment.
Okay. I'm gonna speak on what I know.
Okay.
I don't know much, but what I do know, I know. Instantly, the Cowboys got better.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what you gonna do? We need to take the stress load off of CD. Yeah. Then you go get George Pickens.
GP.
Now, they gonna make it hard for Dak to have excuses this year.
Yeah.
They making it hard. There's an individual by the name of Jerry Jones, okay? I don't know if you know or you covered sports or followed sports long enough to understand this ain't nothing new though, Jerry. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that, Jerry gonna go get him a crash out. It's been in his DNA since inception. What I mean? Okay, cool. Thought you would never
talk to me.
Pac-Man. Certified crash out. Huh? Played for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin. It's certified crash out. Terrell Owens. You get what I'm saying? Certified crash out. Now, crash out to me ain't nobody in particular that can't control themselves. They just have a big personality. Jerry ain't no stranger to picking up these type of guys. Greg Hardy. Played for the Dallas Cowboys. Certified crash out. Oh. How can you talk about personality and not mention this guy?
Well, I was waiting on it.
Deion Sanders.
I was thinking, I was like, say, hold on now.
Jerry made that happen. So he's saying to himself, okay, the narrative over the couple of years, I would say specifically last year, our team is a little soft.
We ain't got no edge.
We don't got no
dog.
edge. We a little smooth. We country club.
Yeah.
You know, we need somebody that's gonna give us that that ain't scared to grab a face mask or two or being this or being that. So what we gonna do? We gonna go get us a certified crash out. Talented as I don't know what.
Yeah.
You know, we like us rough around the edges.
And he not rough around the edges off the field.
Man, listen, this is the thing about George Pickens that's the biggest misconception. Every issue that everybody has ever had with George Pickens has always been where, Peggy?
On the field.
On the field. We can manage all that. See, typically a crash out is always labeled off the field.
Legal problem.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? No. George Pickens ain't that.
He a competitive football player.
We don't never see George Pickens in the club. We don't never see George Pickens doing anything rambunctious. We don't never see George Pickens doing anything but besides being a model citizen outside of the facility. No matter if it was in the University of Georgia, Pittsburgh, and now, no Dallas. My boy done been a model citizen.
Yeah.
So what you getting mad at? Because what, he done grabbed the face mask or two, done squirted some water on somebody on the sideline? Or what, you mad that he done sent the Teak a tweet and made it abundantly clear that he's not happy because ain't nobody throwing him the ball? Yeah. That's what playmakers do. That's what crash outs do. That's what guys that want the ball, and that's what competitors do. So dare I just say, like, crash out is a bad thing. We all need it. We all need it. Now, could I change the word? Yeah, but sometimes it just got to label it what it is. And if you're asking me, Cam, would you want George Pickens on your team? Wouldn't even think twice. Sign me up. Because if I'm him, if I'm Dak, and I get to look on and say what, 80? CD, what's up, my boy? Hey, easy. Woo, George. Like, shit. Boy, what? The issue now becomes, how are we going to manage them two?
Yeah.
Y'all want to throw the ball. Well, you got a lot of options out there.
Bro.
It's a walking stack.
I mean.
Like,
they both can go for 1,000 yards. Easy.
A thigh wow.
They are literally giving Dak everything he needs.
So, this gonna be some must-see TV. And on top of that, I may be beating you to the punch pit.
Come on now.
We get to see this early in the season.
Come on.
And I can't wait. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. George done showed a lot of things, but he has convinced me that ain't nobody said he a bad teammate. Have we heard that?
No.
Now he may have done some immature things, but we can say, well, get past all.
We can mature.
Gone out. Who he slapped on the field? Oh, all right. Well, cool. What did he do? Yeah. No. Not what George did. What did he do to poke George?
That, yeah. Huh? To poke the bell.
You know he crazy.
And you know he gonna give you all he got.
You did. I want that.
Yeah.
Now, having a whole team of Georges, that's a dysfunctional team.
Yeah.
We got to scatter him in there. Sporadic.
But he going to light some fire, though, under them.
He instantly gives that team an edge.
Yeah.
Every team needs an edge. I done said this multiple times, Peggy. In any successful team, I don't care if you're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care if you're talking about the Alabama. I don't give a doggone you talking about any high school team. Every coach will tell you need a perfect blend of good old boys, by the book boys, choir boys, and you need some misfits. You need some guys that don't give a doggone. And you don't give a damn, we don't give a what? You know what I'm saying? That's the old me. But I will stand on this and say that, hey, bruh, George Pickens makes our football team a better football team. Instantaneously. So, I can't wait. I love it. I adore it. Matter of fact, I want some more of it. And I want to see Dak, Bartholomew, Gunther, Prescott. See him perform. Because we need to see what that 60 ball a year going to render us. Because you ain't got no more excuses.
You ain't got no more.
Because we know what CD can do. We really, and this is the spooky thing about this. Have we really seen the best version of George Pickens?
And that part, he was balling without a proven quarterback for years. I mean, you seen him with Russell Wilson. But you got your boy Kenny Pickett, Rudolph. It's bro, now he has a quarterback. Now, people hate on Dak, but, bro, he's solid.
He gonna put up some. He gonna put the ball in the air. They want to put the ball in the air. So now he's in the system that's gonna put the ball
in the air, bro. And I'm super excited to see what he gonna do in Dallas. And the thing is, it's okay, cool. He lined up what's my man Kylie? Wide receiver from Pittsburgh now. He came from Seattle.
Oh, DK.
Yes. So first off, we thought he was in the best situation with DK. Mm-hmm. 2 big body Benzes.
2 big body Benzes.
And then you get in a better situation, as you say, even better market when the star is so bright.
Oh my goodness.
Bro, you ball out in Dallas, bro. You set for the rest of your life.
Ever.
Forever.
Forever, ever, and never, ever. Man, Peggy, I'm trying to tell you, I can't wait. Because now, not only that, and, you know, CD ain't really the extracurricular, you know, showman. And when he scored a touchdown, cool, like, yeah. But George, when he score, he liable to do anything, and I can't wait. The toxic me.
I'm going to be standing out in front of my TV like this. The meme.
I can't wait to see that.
Right, yeah,
I can't wait for them to cover Dallas Cowboys.
Like, who you gonna cover? This is gonna open up the run game. It's just gonna be crazy.
Hello. Like nah. The excuses is running out for everybody.
As long as they stay healthy.
In that,
As long as they stay healthy.
Because for CD, he want to win. Micah Parsons, I still don't think that he done signed his contract, but that gives him any type of, you know, ammunition to say, you know what, I see what y'all doing.
I see y'all trying.
Y'all okay, cool. Dak, for sure, is like, okay.
Does this add extra pressure on that?
Of course it does.
Like it does both. It's like, oh, okay, it takes pressure off of me, but damn, it putting pressure
If he is the competitor, any competitor will want this situation.
Yeah.
This is a good problem to have. Mm-hmm. It's like, man to man, where?
It ain't no 50 ball.
Where? Who gonna do that? Who gonna be stupid to do that? You know what I'm saying? He got to go to receivers. I said that right. Go to receivers. Make that make sense? Don't let man fly over your head, dreads, and your toupee. He has a go to receivers.
Golden retriever.
I would like to say I got to go to receiver too, Peggy.
Come on now. You do.
Yeah, I'm proving he ain't making no $60 million a year, but
not yet.
I can go to my boy any given time. Gotta have this situation. He ain't let me down yet. Not on camera here. And by the way, from parts unknown, from the Queen City.
What's good, bud? Yeah. Come on now. We in here.
We stay here.
Don't play here. It's the A here.
You're looking around like it's a maze here.
We making plays here. Come
no
on.
J's here.
Ooh.
Peggy, how you feel? How was your weekend, sir?
Man, it was good, man. It was Mother's Day weekend, so happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers. Mm-hmm. You know, my weekend was amazing. Got a chance to spend some time with my mama. Mama! I love ya. She came in, you know, on Friday, she didn't know how to act. She broke down the whole, I don't even know what.
Man, y'all go back and y'all watch. I don't know if you got it up on your post, but
TikTok.
Mama Peggy came to the office. And I would like to thank her personally because she taught me, I get my boots on the ground. See, when I was in Charlotte, it's something about Charlotte and having connectivity to Charlotte. Mm-hmm. When we had our camp, I got the gist of the kind of dance.
The abbreviated version.
Abbreviated. Now, Mom Dukes and Alatra, they really took me through it. Now, one thing that you ain't, like, Bug on groove. Huh? I'm a groove, you know what I'm saying? I got a mean little two-step, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. It's that southern gentleman in me. I could catch a beat. Uh-huh. But what you ain't gonna see me, I ain't gonna have no fans in my, you know what I'm saying? Where them fans at? Nah. Instead, you just gotta fire. You know, where them fans at? Fire. When they get to this part, when they just, boom, boy, what?
Got the boots on the ground.
I've been having them boots. Let me see what I got now. I ain't got no boots
on.
I had it early on. But I ain't got no. I took my boots off. And I had to take it off because it was in somebody. Oh, shut your mouth. I be saying, look, I'll put it there now. You know what I mean? I ain't scared to put a boot up there.
Yeah.
I'm used to kicking it.
Yeah.
But tell me about your weekend.
Man, yeah, thank you back to my weekend. Man, I had a good weekend with my mom, my brother. Man, we had a lot of time to spend together. Went to church with her on Sunday.
You go to church, Peggy?
And I go to church, man. I go to church.
You believe in a higher power,
in
Peggy?
a higher power, man. God himself, you know, the great I am. So, you know, had a good time. No, and it was big because, you know, as a kid, my mom introduced me to God. So I ain't had time. Well, we haven't been to church together in a while. We've been going. Only time we was in church, and we said that it was like it's been funerals. Cause she been in Charlotte, I've been in Atlanta. We've been moving, and so to go back to church together, it was just like, dang, that was big. So, man, I had a great time this weekend with my mom, my brother. And so, enjoy the time. That's the thing. Like, enjoy the time that you get. Be in the moment. And time is precious. You know what I'm saying? We don't always have it. And so now I just have one parent. My father's deceased, you know, rest in peace to him. But, like, just to have time with your parent and to savor the moment, it's like we can hustle and bustle, but it's like to sit on the couch, to look over, to be in church, to hug her, to kiss her. You know, you value time at this age. And speaking of age, it was somebody's birthday. Big Bud birthday, May 11th, this past weekend, man. Happy belated birthday to you, my brother, man, on this big age of 36, brother, man. Blessings to you on this age, bro.
I'm officially an unc now.
So what is it? This birthday of 36. What's new for this year for you?
Man, this is the first time in my adult life that I spent my birthday in Atlanta.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
That's crazy.
I just marked out my calendar. I thought we was gone.
Man, out of here. Gone. But now, you know what, man? As I look back, Peg, 35 was probably my hardest year, personally. Now, I could say other things, but, you know, it's like, well, other years, too. That was professionally.
Yeah.
But personally, man, I lost, as I go back to come forward, I lost the girl who loved me the most. One of the girls who loved me the most. And that's my grandmother. And I just hear her voice always echoing, Cammy, I sure do love you. And those things that you don't, you know, you ever forget. And, you know, obviously I still have the opportunity to have both of my parents here. My mother is an angel on earth. You know, my grandmother obviously was an angel on earth. And, you know, when they say I had a praying grandmother, I definitely had that. So I took this time, haven't really had time to get away, but I had time to kind of think about where I've come from. And I needed, you know, just that to now not dwell on the bad, not dwell on, you know, what made 35 so tough, but to go down that journey so now I can walk in gratitude and appreciate relationships, people who've came into my life for seasons and have always been there that I can depend on, rely on. And my plan is to, you know, take time away to write everybody who's impacted my life a letter. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is.
Can't wait for my letter, man.
Yeah, no. I said everybody who I appreciate.
I said I appreciate you. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Let him use you, not the devil. Yeah. Watch your tongue. Well, I'll get me a boot. Put one fall up in there. All right, now.
Speaking of, Peggy, one thing that ain't gonna change. One thing that will never change. Well, I mean, adamantly will never change. I'm gonna be fresh.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You're fresh now. Got the thrashers?
Cause I thrash you. You dig what I say? You keep talking, I'm a thrashing.
Yeah, all right, now you see what I got on, a soccer jersey. All right? I'm kicking more than karate over here, too, so all right.
Cool.
Don't get your FIFA, your MLS on, brother.
All right.
All right, now.
Stay in your lane.
I got one leg that's good, and it
That's
still
cool.
can work. All right,
You're
now.
going to need more than one.
It's fine.
You're going to need more than one.
You just take one right kick.
Well, let's keep this thing PG.
Yeah,
you
you
know
go.
what I'm saying? Shout out to the real Atlanta who can appreciate, this style selection of this week. And let's keep it pushing. Peter Pecker P.
There you go.
Here we go, next clip.
Well, as we talk about Dallas, America's team is going against the Super Bowl champs in the first week of the NFL 2025 season, September 4th, all right? And as you said earlier, man, it's like we're going to put it to the test. Is George Pickens and the Dallas Cowboys ready to face Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles? What do you think about this matchup on the first game of the season?
Listen, I'll say this, and even though it's a long time away, in that division, you got to get them in early. What I mean, get them in, get the wins in. Any type of divisional game, a divisional opponent, the OG would always tell me, man, they count for two. And in that division, it's probably, if not the most competitive in all of, the AFC North is kind of competitive. No. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Bengals, Browns. But then you got the Commanders, Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles. But them divisions right there heavy.
They battling.
And they heavy. So I can't wait. It's going to definitely be must-see TV. But I knew, I'm going to take it back real quick, because a couple years ago, Dallas played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as the season opener. And that game was a really good game. I believe, to my knowledge, Tampa ended up winning the game, right? Or no matter who won or lost, that was a great display on both sides. With Brady and Dak, you knew that they had a good team. Because when you talk about early football games, right, the thing that stands out is how can we minimize mistakes? Unforced errors is what they call them, Peggy. That's offsides, illegal procedures, not lining up on the ball, just mishaps. And that typically happens first game of the year in all football. They don't fixes. High school, rec ball, park ball, whatever you want to call it. College, it's just, man, we got to iron out all the kinks. So the team who does simple better typically wins.
Simple better.
Just listen to me, Peggy. You're going to learn something.
I got you.
You're going to learn
something. Whoever does simple better.
You dig what I'm saying? Here we go, next clip.
Okay, the Saints are marching in, but Derek Carr is marching out. He has officially retired, all right? So he has a great resume, second-round pick. 4-time Pro Bowl, 77 NFL wins, 41,000 yards, more than 41,000 yards, and 257 touchdowns, but has a losing career win percentage with 77 wins and 92 losses, and one trip to the playoff, which was a loss. One thing about this, as we talk money talk, even with this record, Derek Carr is ninth most of any player from 2014 to 2024, with making over $205 million. Boom. So we have to talk about two things. Obviously, the piggy bank and the money that he has made, but also with him retiring, what is going to happen in New Orleans? Because they have three quarterbacks that really aren't proven starters. So the job can go to anybody. Did they draft the right quarterback? Should they have drafted a Shador or another quarterback? Talk to me about that and, the state of the New Orleans Saints.
If I'm Cam Jordan, I'm ticked off.
Because he's trying to win now.
Yesterday. You dig what I'm saying? If I'm in the Bayou, I'm like, what are we doing? We haven't went out and got a quarterback yet. We had opportunities to draft a quarterback early. And while in the draft, you draft an offensive tackle, Kevin Banks. So this is what I don't get. This ain't no new news.
Yeah, we
that just came and said, "Oh man, well we're gonna lose Derek." It was always in question.
Correct.
His status all off season. We knew that it can potentially be an issue.
Yeah.
Now, some can make the argument they should have went out and got Shador. Well, this is why the executives and the decision makers make the money that they make, the big bucks. Now, what we gonna do? Because when I'm looking at Tyler Show and Jake Rayner and Jake Hayner and Spencer Rattler.
There's some proving going on.
Hey, man, listen. Y'all must know something I don't know.
No. Okay.
But if I'm Atlanta Falcons, I'm elated. If I'm the Carolina Panthers, oh, man. If I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whew, we ain't got to worry about that.
But I wanted to ask you that because you said the Falcons, and that's what I would think of. Should they join the Aaron Rodgers sweepstake, or should they try to make a move for Kirk Cousins?
I just don't think Kirk Cousins has it in him to lead a team to the playoffs. That's just me personally. I think Kirk Cousins is as talented as a safety valve that any team would want to have, but to lead them to the playoffs, nah. The Falcons didn't believe that. You know what I mean? And we seen that happen way before the season even started. So, I mean, hey, let's see what they got. Curious George, like, let's look at the context clues here. If he left that, then we trying to pick. You asking me. My sweepstakes is going to Aaron Rodgers. Because now you have to say it was highly favored for him to go to Pittsburgh. But Aaron Rodgers in New Orleans with a controlled environment that is a toxic winning environment for the most part. In the dome. We ain't got to worry about snow, wind, rain. Man, please, boy.
Hey, Rod.
Gunslinger. You hear me? Now that's something that'll make them okay. Now I see
I see something now.
But until they get that, I don't feel confident about that quarterback room yet. Not to say that they can't, but if we talking about resumes, that quarterback room is not. No, absolutely not. The devil's still a lie, huh? On Thursday he is. You dig what I'm saying? Here we go. Next clip.
All right, the draft lottery just took place Monday night, and the Mavericks had a 1.8% chance of winning the number 1 overall pick, and they have won it. So I think it has put a pause on the Nico Harrison pressure, or could have added to it. So obviously the GM of the Mavs, everybody has been mad with his trade with Luka and AD, you know, because they was like, it hasn't panned out. But now that Cooper Flag is presumably the number 1 overall pick, it can save the Dallas Mavericks and his decision-making and really save his job. So what do you think about that? Because a lot of people are saying, like, the lottery is rigged. Do you think the NBA lottery is rigged?
He probably heard the news like, wait, what? We got
What has it?
We got the number 1 pick? So you're telling me there's a chance. But I found it a lot of fishy. When the Dallas Mavericks just got the first pick, I'm like, hey, how in the world?
Yeah.
I thought this was about probability.
I know.
And every time that probability goes, it's like, typical. Okay, we could see why Cleveland was okay. We could see why, okay, that team, okay. The Mavericks?
That 1.8%. If I got a chance.
After the season debacle that they just had?
Bruh.
Hold up.
Scratch it. Scratch your hair for me, bro. Scratch your hair for me, bro.
I mean, smelling fishy around here. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's supposed to be Cooper.
Yeah.
Everybody hopes it's Cooper.
Yeah.
But there's somebody on that foreign border that's
gonna
be a pick. Then you be like, wait, what?
Yeah, but I think they should do Cooper. But do you see? There's a lot of people talking like, well, the Mavericks, y'all should trade the pick for a proven player right now in this moment. What you think they should do? You think they should go with Cooper or trade for another, person?
Hey, I think for any rookie coming into a situation like that to be ready to play, do I think Cooper Flag is ready to play? Absolutely. He's shown that he can be the guy.
Yeah.
But in the NBA, it's a whole different,
guys.
Ball game. And then also you have to factor in Duke players in the NBA. They say, hey, bro, what about Kyrie? Kyrie didn't really play at Duke. He had a couple games. But
I mean, you start thinking about Jason Tatum. I mean, I remember that narrative. It was like
that narrative,
correct. When Coach K had them, it was like they were system guys. They couldn't really develop. And so I think in this new regime, they have been able to produce NBA ready.
And I want to take this time to really Jason Tatum just recently had a foot injury, and hoping him a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
But it wasn't good. So you just mentioned his name by way of Duke, but a lot of players that come out of that program, it's a little iffy. Yeah. It's a hit or miss. We've seen numerous times in basketball, Lord, that is just like, oh, we thought, well, we ain't get the return on our investment that we did. Yeah, sure. But if you're asking, do you trade the pick? They got a young man by the name of Giannis Oladipo that's trying to consider getting up out of there.
Antetokounmpo. Yeah,
look,
Giannis.
The Greek freak, man.
There you go, Greek. Yeah.
Bro, I'm a player.
Yeah.
I mess up too.
There you go.
I know it's hard to think big. I mess up too. But it's consider that.
Yeah.
That'd be something. Here we go, next clip.
Okay, so we have the Knicks fans, crazy fans, Knickerbockers riding high because making the NBA Finals feels closer than ever. Let's rewind what was trending the last time the Knicks made it to the Finals. All right, we got Jay-Z's A Hard Knock Life was still dominating then. Okay, that's how old that was. All right, The Sopranos had just premiered on HBO in January. Wow. You know that's your show. Napster launched that year. The Matrix and Fight Club hit the theaters. Baggy jeans, Timberlands, starter jackets, and none other than FUBU was killing the fashion.
For us, by us. Okay, all right.
So, man, 99, man, that's
been a long time.
Since the New York Knicks.
I'm going to tell you one thing from an observant, you understand what I'm trying to say. I can appreciate a Knickerbocker fan. Cause boy, that's a rivalry right there.
They're just rugged.
They just fiending for
anything.
Oh my God!
Shout out to Brendan Cole.
Like man, he slid this in. Brendan is one of our producers here at 4th and 1, and he just couldn't wait. He wearing all type of Knicks merch and all.
Had a Knicks hat on today.
I appreciate, the fandom that comes with, being a New York Knick. It just gives you purpose as you can fight for something. And that what they call it, the tri-state, Boston, New York, that type of ruggedness, it's real feelings involved, emotions is involved. You can see the fans that's going viral on the, it's just.
Do you think they're one of the most rugged fans, like not just in basketball but all over? It's like it's strong tie between them and Philly fans to me. But who are your most like? Y'all just fanatics.
Bro, every league has them. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we can appreciate and call a hostile environment. A super toxic fan base. Yeah. You go to Philly, the Eagles, I'm going to tell you who ain't too shabby either. New Orleans Saints. Like Atlanta when they rocking, shucks, man, who are Boston, New England. Like, bro, they pick your poison. All that to say, everybody want a winner.
Yeah.
When you winning, you can do what you want when you're popping. You dig what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I love the fan bases, man. And let's just say, don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Because, boy, if they can come back.
All right now.
Man. Next clip.
All right, I'm back. MJ himself, Michael Jordan, is officially back. This time with NBC Sports. Over 30 years after his iconic I'm Back announcement, MJ returns as a special contributor to NBC's NBA coverage as the network regains broadcast rights this fall. So no word yet on how often he'll appear on NBC, but my man, the icon, Air Jordan himself is back on NBC or is on NBC. So Cam, what do you think? Because, you know, we talked about this off camera.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
And Jordan has this iconic mystery. He's like this mystery man. You know, you don't really have, he don't do too many interviews. He don't do too much press. So to me, I was saying that will this kind of kill his mystique or his legacy or his persona of like, I wonder what MJ is thinking. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your thoughts?
It would be must-see TV. When you see sports figures and public figures like Magic Johnson, when you see public figures and sports icons like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, those guys, they do it in that sport.
Yeah.
And now in the sport of basketball, there's no bigger name than Michael Jordan. I think it only can help his empire, you know. And what better person to ask for advice or his take on certain, you know, basketball situations than MJ.
Man, and that is so crazy now in media. And as you say, athletes, for somebody like Michael Jordan this late, you know, after he done retired all this, it's like, all right, I'm going to come speak. I'm going to come.
What's wrong with that, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was going to get to the point, the state of media and with athletes, to your point, they're starting to take over this sports media game. Yeah. What does that mean to you for like somebody like this? Obviously, you doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that say about the game and media
It's in a good
right
space, man. Like, anytime a guy who has played the game or a girl who has played the game can cover and talk about it, it gives a different approach. It gives a different view on. I never thought about it like that. I never really considered, you know, this particular situation. And it only can help, like I said. So anything that MJ does in media can only help, you know. Now, he has to be mindful that whatever he says can be taken extremely serious, but he's obviously, it's not about money, you know, and he always will be tied to the game of basketball.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I think it's a good time for, you know, everybody to kind of be fans of anticipating what he will, you know, kind of be used as. And I'm excited, man. I don't think nothing can impact his legacy like this. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Not even this, so to speak. Because you was like, man, they could have backed his legacy. Like, yeah, bro. But it's MJ, for Christ's sake. Now, how entertaining will it be? Because everything is going to be heavily critiqued. Even look at Brady. Like, there's people who love Brady as a commentator. There's people who's like, man, it's boring. You know what I mean? But he still has to get his reps up, right? So I can appreciate guys like Brady going out there to cover sports that he has played and dominated. Yeah. And I just can't wait to see what, you know, MJ brings to the table.
Well, you know what we're going to do, man? I'm going to just put our hat in the ring for us. I'm going to speak for us.
Me and you?
Yeah, 4th and 1. MJ, since you're doing all this media, you know what I'm saying? I love your sneakers, man. I love what you stand for. If you ever, since you're out here in media, come on down to 4th and 1. We want to have you on. I'm just going to say that. Be a guest one time for us, you know what I'm saying?
Speak for yourself, Peggy. I don't want MJ.
What you want?
I want an MJ, but it ain't Michael Jordan.
What?
I want Marcus Jordan.
Well, you want Marcus, I want Mike, man. Look.
Yeah, like the people want Marcus, huh? Shout out to my dog. You know, I've been contacting and speaking to, you know. Yeah. I just want to see. Like, where you at? We want to see you. Come.
Get Peggy a sneaker deal.
Come on. No. You don't want to waste that product.
No, please.
You don't want to waste them throwaways.
Nah.
Marcus, Come holler at your boy. Here we go. Second down. Questionable call of the week. Let's see what we got, Peggy.
Well, since it's Mother's Day, mama. Jayden Daniels' mom finally speaks out on the criticism that she's been receiving.
You know, you were very honest about protecting him. You said predators, also protecting him from women who can be predators. And we've seen that all through sports. We see it after their careers. We see it in business. Being the good woman you are, also raising a daughter, why have you been so diligent about protecting Jayden from the wrong woman?
So first and foremost, I have a meme out there, and it's funny. So I can't laugh. I can only laugh about it. But the whole girls comment was made, first of all, 2 years when he was at LSU, and it was a question asked, like, what is your biggest fear? And that should be every parent's biggest fear. That should be, if you're a star athlete and you're a female in WNBA, that should be your biggest fear is, the men or, the women, because you're a public figure and, your dollar amount is associated with your name. So you never know who really is there for you and who's really against you. And our thing is like, I want Jayden to date. I don't want everybody to say I'm putting it on record. My son can date. He can live freely, makes his own decisions. However, the relationship we have, he does value my opinion because, when my kids were little, I did a lot for them. So, and my kids saw that. My father, my background, I worked too hard to allow anybody at any moment.
What's wrong with this?
Nothing's wrong with it. I know she's been getting a lot of backlash. Jayden Daniels' mom, being on the scene when he popping out restaurants, going out, this and that. We even spoke about, her at one particular time. And so, seeing that she helps with his business affairs and his image and, looking and watching over him. Yeah. I think it gets misconstrued of, is it good parenting or she's hovering? But what do you think?
No, but this is the thing, though. I don't think this is nothing new. I think it's just new that the propaganda of the media has put out this image of black parents as absent. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always been some type of connection to villains being created with parents that want the best for their children. They use words like nepotism, but that's like a cultural thing. In every single ethnicity, culture, whatever, walk of life, we see it. But for black people, it's been something that's been looked down upon. It's like, okay, well, we have certain examples, right? When you think about a Cecil Newton, when you think about a LeVar Ball, when you think about a Deion Sanders, when you think about a Richard Williams, when you think about an Earl Woods, all these parents, fathers, and even Regina Jackson have some way, shape, form, at some point, been villainized in the media by hovering too much. But that's what parents do. I think this is new because as mamas, we ain't used to seeing that. Yeah. It's not that it doesn't exist. It just doesn't get highlighted. And not to mention, Miss Regina is a certified representative by the NFL to represent her son. So she's well capable of that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's something that's like, oh, not only is she a mom, she's she has proper certifications and degrees and went about things to take us a step further, which is commendable. But there's that propaganda that the media has always kind of made black parenting somewhat a negative thing. Yeah. Right? And that's what I don't appreciate. She's not doing anything any different than any other parent would want for their child. Yeah. And you have to set parameters. You have to set barricades up to say, oh no, we're not doing that. I know what they're trying to do, but we're not going to do that. You would hope that that child, that son, that daughter, that young man, young woman has resources in their life that can protect them. Yeah. Too much in this day and age, they got too much access. Yeah. Social media, no curfew, You do what you want. Well, he said he want to do that. Well, let him do it. It's not highlighted enough where they do have good parents. I mean, you see a guy like Cam Ward who has his parents right by his side everywhere that he went, right? They're not as vocal as most parents are. You look at a guy like Deion Sanders who has been very open about, man, I want my sons to succeed. I want my family to succeed. If you was in that same situation, what would you do? What would you do different?
You would want the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things, like, it's better to protect than to have a situation happen that you could have prevented. Mm-hmm. And that's goes back to parenting. It's like, man, bro, we all have different styles. But how it has been displayed in media hasn't always been the glorified, prototypical way to parent from that situation. So, Mr. Regina, man, keep your head. Jayden is doing unbelievable. You're doing an unbelievable job, man. And we need more parents, not just black, to be heavily involved in their child's lives and careers as well. Here we go, next clip.
So, what is questionable? A.B. Antonio Brown. Questionable call. See, Boog, I'm going to let you
Oh, yeah. I need,
Something
man, listen.
special.
Hey, Antonio Brown, man, come holler at your boy real quick. You know what I'm saying? We all know. We talked about, certified tyrants and certified crash outs. Like, if anybody will be the poster child for that, it will be Antonio Brown. Now, last week, all right, we did, a questionable call or a viral moment where we showed, Antonio Brown, it looked like he was cooking.
I mean, barbecue chicken.
Shilo Sanders.
Yeah.
And even for me, it was a trending clip or a couple clips, and I'm saying to myself, my questions was like, hold on, you mean to tell me out of a whole route session that we only see 2 clips? I found that mighty strange. Mm-hmm. Now, Peggy, as we were partaking in our workout earlier this week, I get a phone call. Cling, cling. And it was no other than Shilo Sanders. Uh-huh. He said, hey, man, I'm about to send you these clips, and I want y'all to put that on the show. I said, say less, because I ain't never seen these clips. So, play the clips.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you down? I knew you was finna do that.
Like clamps to me. They don't look like none of the footage that we seen last week. No fly zone.
I will make this public service announcement. Mm-hmm. Antonio Brown, you have 24 hours to respond because, my boy, I know you got something to say. Well, you ain't show them clips.
Yeah.
And you talking about, now I can't say because that's the old me.
I'll say it for you.
Thank you.
Dion, I'm out here working out with Dion's sorry-ass son.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But you didn't show them other clips.
Yeah.
And I think the toxic me want to hear what you got to say.
I wants to hear you.
Because in defense of Shilo, he is in the process of trying to make a team. Mm-hmm. Us covering that wasn't ideal in his situation, and I take that. But when you see them clips right there, you have to understand this too.
It's old footage.
It's old footage. And if my memory serves me well, this was AB at the top of his career. This was pre-Tampa. This was him in the offseason getting prepared for the Las Vegas Raiders. Mm. So at tip-top shape, bested choke, and if my memory serves me correct, he was the best receiver, one of the best, during that time. Getting clamped by a high school player or a young player. Whether he was in college, it didn't matter. But I didn't see that. I didn't see them clips. So I'm interested to hear and see what you got to say, because that ain't no good film to put out there, or that we just saw.
Just put the real tape out.
Man, we need to see it. And I know he going to come with the loud antics and the trifling tweets. And I just came in, look, 24 hours.
AB, where you at?
You on the clock. Here we go, third down. Fan question of the week. What we got, Peg?
Here we got fan question. Zoro Soon Shi said OKC Denver, probably the best series so far, but did y'all see the Joker fit? He went straight Joker style with the outfit.
I like that.
Book, man, what you think about
That's some showman right there, man. You know, especially for Joker to have this persona that, you know, very dull, mild-mannered, not on the court, but just you don't too much see him leaning in with the toxicity. Yeah. But I like to see that in sports, you know, where athletes really lean into it's just the outer stuff, man. Yeah. It's good for the game. Here we go, next clip.
All right, Adrian David Drake said the news that Henry Ruggs could sign with the Panthers, good thing or bad thing?
Great thing.
With his history.
Bryce Young needs every possible help known to man.
So what do you think about with everything off the field, him being released from prison, all of that stuff?
Bro, but like, understand this, bro. And I'm just using this as an example. People are owed second chances in life. Let's not be naive to doing our discovery of what you did, Peggy, what you did, Cam. Is your resume pristine? Well, who are you as a person? Did you make mistakes? Absolutely. That's what growth and development is all about. So to keep punishing this man for what he did, I do think people change, right? And he had to change circumstantially. Like the circumstance that he was in, it forced him to. Yeah. So if he has an opportunity, or the Panthers have an opportunity, now that boy still can run. Yeah. Like his decision does not deflect him as a football player. He made a personal decision. Professionally, he's still a first round.
And much love to the families and the people that was affected.
Yes.
But like obviously if he has grown as a person, I can see.
Sign him up. And listen, bro, I've said this, and I was in the comments was saying, I love the acquisitions at the receiver position that the Carolina Panthers took. I call him Jimmy Juice. Jimmy Horn and T-Mac.
Yeah, they got some people.
You know, you got Leggett, you got Thielen. Like, yes,
they got
bro.
even Kobe out there.
That Kobe Hudson, yes, he went in. Like, bro, he got options. He got a lot of people, a lot of good personnel that's out there that has flourished, you know, in their respective places. So, yeah, man, you get your positioning talent around a young quarterback or a thriving quarterback to now put him in position to succeed and be successful. And you only can appreciate that as a fan. So.
All right, so it's Ty Graham. All right, what do you think about this, Cam? A well-known friend of Cam refuses to pay up a Madden online bet. Your thoughts?
Who?
Ty.
He's asking me?
Yes.
Who's the friend? Is he like my friend?
Yeah.
I don't got no friends.
Well-known friend of Cam.
And the people who know can appreciate that. I'm a Lannister.
What's that?
Lannisters always pay their debts. You with me, Jimbo? Anybody who is a Game of Thrones connoisseur knows that. So for me, Cam Newton, I don't owe nobody. And if I do owe you, get it in blood. You feel me? But for me, nah. I don't got no outstanding.
Get my sacrifice.
I don't got no outstanding. I consider myself a Lannister. I always pay my debt.
There you go.
Here we go. 4th down. Newton's Law. Peggy, what do we have here?
Man, we got a special guest today, all right? The 5th overall pick in the 2011 draft, the 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and as we all know, a future Hall of Famer, none other than Mr. Patrick Peterson! Welcome to 4th and 1, man.
How you guys doing, man? I'm happy to finally be here, bro.
Yes. Yes, we have.
First off, man, you look good, bro.
Man, appreciate it,
glowing.
man.
He got the glow, bud.
You know what I mean? He got that retired glow.
Yeah, like, I'm cool.
It's like, man, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? Got money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Family good. I'm
Health
healthy.
good.
What you do to stay fit, bro?
Man, first of all, I'm disappointed I don't have a jersey on.
That's
Yeah,
shit.
we was gonna say something.
That's your team.
We was gonna
So I had to beat him to the punch real quick. So I'm disappointed I don't have a jersey on. But what I'm doing to stay fit, running behind my 2 girls, going to dance practice, cheer practice, swimming lessons. They keep me busy, man. We just had a freaking a 1.5 mile run at school for them.
Wow.
So they keep me busy, dog.
Now, to that,
Okay.
right? And whether you catch flack or you don't, I hate to do any type of physical activity around pedestrians. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can understand as an athlete, you like the dad that everybody trying to gear up to. Man, I ran the whole 1.5 miles next to 8-time All-Pro, future Hall of Famer Patrick Peterson. Like, I'm
Relax.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy, Todd.
Sell insurance by day. Hey, bro, chill out.
So, man, where do we start? Right? He kind of route read us, with the jersey, but we're gonna take it easy on you.
Yeah.
And like I said off camera, this makes for you to come back on.
Yep, I will be back.
You know what I'm saying? To talk ball, and I think the state of really media right now has been heavily influenced by athletes. Take me just through, the things that you've done, in media. What's your plans in media? What you got going on and things of that sort.
Man, for me, now that I'm outside of the game, I love the game.
Yeah.
I want to continue to embrace what I can give the viewers, the fans, about the game because I lived it. I've been in the locker room. I've been in meetings. I've been on losing teams. So I can kind of give that insight information to the outsiders. And for me, what I'm doing right now, I want to call games. I did the NFL broadcasting boot camp in 2022. That was a great experience, and I've just been hearing, how hard it is to call games, how fast it is. But as a DB, I always lived on my toes, So I'm okay embracing how fast the game may be, calling it from a booth. So that's my end goal. But right now, I got a couple of plays in motion right now. We'll see how they end up playing out here in a couple months.
Say less. Peggy, what you got?
Man, obviously we have to talk about it. After 13 seasons, you decided to walk away from the game. So, like, what was that moment when you was like, nah, it's time, and, time to hang it up, so to speak?
Man, it happened, I didn't play a full season last year and being home, getting comfortable, waking up, 6 o'clock, taking my girls to school, picking them up from school. I was still working out, but that fire wasn't there anymore just because, I wasn't on a team. I didn't have a purpose to really wake up, going to meetings or getting in the hot tub, getting into that regiment, So last year when I was just sitting back home and getting comfortable, like I said, golfing every day, tending to my wife's businesses and things like that, I was like, man, that fire's it's not burning anymore. So now it's time to, because I never wanted to cheat the game.
Yeah.
We're fierce competitors. Every time we step out there, we want to be able to put our best foot forward. And I was like, man, you know what? It's time to give it up. I had a couple teams call me, but like I said, that fire wasn't really burning. So that's when I finally made that decision. I'm happy in life, happy where, what I was able to provide and do in this league. And, now my time has come.
So let's go back real quick because I just recently watched this documentary about shooting guards.
Okay.
Right? Great Netflix documentary about the Gilbert Arenas debacle.
I saw that too.
But as I was watching it, I said to myself, I was like, bro, there's something about, the plane rides that, bro, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain it to the normal person, but after a win or going to a, hostile environment, it just triggers something. So as I was watching it, I knew you was coming on. I said to myself, I was like, bro, give us a traveling story.
Okay.
And something that you will always, keep with you?
Man, like you said, the plane rides was always magical.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter where we were going, like we always looked forward to the plane rides. During the season, we wanted to see where we was going, how far the plane ride was. Like, all right, that's gonna be a 4-hour trip. Yeah. We can do this, we can do that, we can talk about this, we can do that, we can watch film and the first 30, this, that, and another. But my most memorable one was, man, after the Buffalo Bills game. This one I was playing for Minnesota. After the Buffalo Bills game, we end up coming back. This is that miracle, like the best game of the year. I had 2 picks in that game.
Subtle flex.
Yes, and during that year, we started like the chains on the plane. Yeah. So whoever was a player of the game had the opportunity. Yeah. So whoever was a player of the game had the opportunity to wear the chains. And that game, I was a player of the game, and I had like 15 chains on me. And I don't wear necklaces. I wear watches and things like that, but. That game was so memorable to me because Za'Darius gave me his Cartier glasses with the diamonds on the side. I had man. So that ride was very, very memorable. But I can remember another one when I was in Arizona. I forget who was playing, but it was maybe it was a New York team. But we had the double decker. So all the coaches was upstairs and all the players was downstairs.
I ain't never had that.
And I was like, this is when I was just starting to get into my DJ. In my DJ phase.
You a DJ?
So then I snuck my DJ stuff on the plane because all the coaches and everybody's upstairs, so they don't know what's going on downstairs. Sure. So I end up having a DJ on the plane.
It's a whole DJ Pat P. DJ T. The DJ T step. Let's talk about it though, man. There's been a lot of controversy with technique. Defensive back technique, right?
Been seeing it.
Dion, Asante, and we just recently had Brian McFadden on as well too. So from a future Hall of Famer, right? As people observe and really take heed, right, to what you've seen, how you prepared, what do you say to the differences and which technique do you prefer?
Me, I prefer the T-step. Okay. Because it's kind of each your own. It's going to be times that you can come out of there, how Dion explained it. I don't even know how he explained the movement, but
it's like a continuous step.
Yeah, right? It's sometimes you can come out of that, and sometimes you're going to have to use a T-step. But I will have to say, 80% of the time, if you want to come out of a break clean, you're using a T-step. But Dion is also. He's one of those guys. He's an anomaly, man. You can't learn a lot of things from Dion because he was God gifted. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So for a guy who wants to learn the position and don't want to have those false steps, T-step is by far the best technique to use.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, when you talk about God gifted athletes, you have Travis Hunter now with Jacksonville.
Yep.
Do you believe that he can play both ways and play like at a Pro Bowl type of level? Obviously, it's early on. He's a rookie. Yep. But to be able to do and play in the NFL at a high level on both sides, talk to me about Travis Hunter and what do you see with him playing both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I don't want to put a cap on Travis. I don't want to say that he cannot do it because we had these conversations. It was like, man, would he be able to do it at the college level?
And he did,
and he was able to do it. The only difference is going to be between the college level and the NFL level. He's going to be in the classroom more. And I don't know how he's going to be able to divide his time in both places. So I believe that's going to be the trickiest part. Because Cam, we're on the field an hour and a half, hour 40.
If that.
You know what I mean? Right? So how he's going to be able to have all of his attention in both places. So I think that's going to be the trickiest part because we've seen he can play both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At a high level. We've seen that. I think the biggest differential is going to be the classroom aspect of it.
And I'm reminded, even going back to your days in whatever team, right, and specifically Arizona.
Yep.
I can't see an individual saying, hey, I'm going to be guarded by a Patrick Peterson. And then turn back around and say, hey, I'm going to guard a Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like when you think about that, your brain can't even wrap around like, hold on. Now, can he play both sides of the ball? Yes.
That he can.
But the packages, you got to have a nickel package. You got a dime package. You got, certain 11 personnels. Hey, we got Pony Travis, or hey, let's go Rasta like Nico, like whatever the code word is. But to say I'm starting on both sides of the ball and playing on both sides of the ball
are two different things.
You know what I'm saying? Things.
And think about this, Cam, the terminology.
Yeah.
It's going to be totally different. And it's not going to be like college where we're going to run what we run because we're good at it. It's going to be a game plan every single week. So you're learning something new every week. You might have some, foundational stuff in there.
For sure.
But it's going to be something new every single week. And we all had the opportunity to hit the rookie wall. You know what I mean? So imagine him hitting the rookie wall, having to battle both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I just see the change of that, though. Like, even if he does pull this off, I think he would change the game of football.
He has already done
it.
Yeah.
In that pro level, like, people are starting to draft people. I'm going to use him as a wide receiver in the DB. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's crazy.
You know what's crazy, going back, when I was with Arizona Cardinals, 2015, when we played you guys in the NFC Championship, we started the season with 7 DBs. They counted Tyrann Matthews as 3 players, a corner, nickel, and a safety. No one in the history of the NFL has ever carried 7 DBs throughout their entire season, and we was called the Magnificent Seven that year.
But that's a testament to Tyrann's ability to tackle. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now when I first came into the league, it was kind of transitioning into a heavily nickel package defense. Like, we've seen this game, and now I'm really getting into the X's and O's of just the philosophy of football. And there was a point in time where you needed those Peter Bullwares, those Derek Brooks, those Ray Lewises, those Brian Urlacher-esque, downhill, just stiff back, you know what I mean, linebackers.
Run stoppers.
And, it was 5'2", 4'3", bare defense. But now you look around, those guys have to be hybrids. You have to be able to play multiple different positions. We drafted Shaq Thompson. And honestly, on draft day, we didn't know what Shaq was going to play. Whether he's going to play running back, he played running back at Washington. He came here, he was guarding the #1 player in college, and it was like, yo, who is this guy? What is he going to do? But, as you look at it now, the game has changed so much because of one specific position that's hot right now, and that's the tight end position, right? You got to have somebody that can cover or that can guard that position,
100%.
but on the same time still be able to stop the run and have the ability to allow the defensive coordinator, the defensive signal caller, to be able to get in his bag, so to speak.
100%.
I want to ask you this because with me being so heavily involved in youth sports and really just the transformation of seeing kids as young as really 5 years old, right? Who was your OG and who kind of taught you the game from not just the high school level, the college level, but also in the pros, that you kind of was taken up under that person's arm and taught you just how to be a professional?
Man, I was very blessed. My cousin, Brian McFadden, I don't know if you knew that or not. That's my first cousin.
You are lying.
Yeah, so his mom and my grandmother are sisters.
Wow.
Yeah, so so that's my first cousin. So honestly, him, because I actually saw him do it before I did. I watched him go through his, recruiting process, go on to Florida State. I watched him get drafted by the Steelers, playing Super Bowls, going to multiple games. So when it was my opportunity to go through the same process that he did, he kind of like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how I get it done. This is how you train. This is how you get your mind right. And I tell guys, even to this day, man, I give him all the credit to my career, to the success in my career, because I had the opportunity to watch it unfold before I even had the opportunity
to play.
You know what I mean? So I give all the credit to Bryant, but other than Bryant, my dad. My dad was my coach throughout my childhood. every time we had the opportunity to go out and train, he's there with me.
For sure.
Mondays, Fridays, it don't matter. After games, like, he was always by my side and gave me that dog mentality. So my dad and Bryant.
Obviously, you talked about your career, Bryant, but also during your career, you had to line up against top wide receivers.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know, like, if you had 3 wide receivers that you, like, hated to line up against. It's like, and then also, too, Cam, after he answers that, I just want to say, because y'all talked about y'all meeting each other in the playoffs. I was like, dang, I really want to know what that was like on both ends of the ball.
We met each other a couple times. You know, his Heisman, Superman campaign at Auburn.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that right there. And then we can go to wide receivers. But y'all matchups, if y'all can give me like little excerpts of like from college to the pros, because y'all both have been elite on whatever team y'all been on.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, even if Cam on the other side of the ball, we're Pat Pete, or like, look, we're Cam about to do. Yeah. So I want to hear those stories.
I'll give you a quick story. So 2009, we go to, no, actually 2010, we go to Auburn. We both undefeated. You know,
that was a game.
Yeah, that was a hell of a game. So, you know, this is when Cam started to become Superman.
It wasn't proven yet.
It wasn't proven yet, but it was there.
Test.
Yeah, it was there because I think y'all played.
No. It was Jordan Air, but they had the #1 defense.
Yeah, we did.
Like, there was like, oh.
So hold on, I gotta get it. So before the game, what was in your mind or your team's mind going up against Auburn and Cam?
Well, first of all, we knew we had our hands full, but we knew he was going to be pretty much doing everything because they had no weapons at receiver. They had this one fast guy,
Carr.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you this, true story, and the hand on the Bible, bro. You would have thought we was playing Deion Sanders, Florida State. He kept saying, bro, they got Pat P, bro, they got Pat P. I'm like, nigga. But it's you though, like you running like 4.4, 4.3, like he's a blanket.
He has some speed.
But Patrick Peterson's effect, just like any dominant player, the game is won here.
Yeah.
And bro, that whole week it was in the game plan. If you see #7, do not throw the #7 side. And early in that game, we tried to take a shot.
Yeah, you
because,
did.
Like, we tried to. Hey, I was like, man, I'm gonna try. The Warriors mentality, man, I don't care nothing about none of that, bro.
Right.
I'm
Just
about to give my guy,
mentality,
you see what I'm saying? I'm about to give my guy a chance. But when you give guys chances and you already know he's in his mind, he didn't even go or attempt for the ball. He flies. I'm like, no. That would be the last time.
That's the last. You ain't even
Like, you need somebody that's going to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nah, he was already, his impact, you know, that year. And granted, like, he's talking about who I was becoming. He had already stamped his relevance, and he was already labeled a top 5 to top 3 pick, if not the first pick of the draft. And he had this Heisman moment where he had a punt return, and then boom, he struck it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. Hey, real. But going into that situation, going into that game, right? I always tell high school players, I just wish anybody get to see college like I saw college. That lead up, the build up was real.
Yeah.
People, because we went through a stint, right? In our schedule, we had Arkansas at home, we had Clemson at home, and then it all led to the LSU game. And our fans was like, if we could be above 500 and keep it close in the fourth quarter. This is like all preseason talk.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, bro, we undefeated.
Yeah.
Who would have thought Auburn, especially with the LSU team that it was, y'all had beat Alabama that year, right? And they was on fire, right? And it was Les Miles.
Yeah,
Les Miles was still the head coach. I did not see a RV leave the campsite. Yeah. So the whole week, like anybody who has never experienced SEC football, it's different.
Yeah.
This is before Missouri.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
This is the heyday.
This is before Texas, Texas A&M. This is the old SEC. Smash mouth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just observed the energy on campus like, this a look.
They camped out for the whole week.
This a look different right here. And just to see the build up. And we had College game day, and it was an energy there that as a warrior, as a competitor, and even going back to the Quindarius Carr situation, if I didn't feel that we was aligned, like, and as you get prepared for a game, warriors don't really talk.
Yeah.
Give each other a look.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, Sam. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them. I'm gonna need you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I wasn't really getting that look from a lot of people. So that put more on my shoulder where it's like, bro, y'all had Shepard, linebacker. Y'all had Tyron. Y'all had
Egg Reed. Mo Claiborne.
Like, bro, I knew I had to go into that game like the bully because I couldn't get punked.
Yeah.
Because there was so much looking at me like,
what you gonna do?
What can
we? They were the favorites. But being the
sure.
favorite though on your end, like going up against Cam, going against Auburn, like even as the game unraveled, like what was your thoughts?
Like I said, leading up to that game, they played Clemson. There was another big game you guys played because Clemson, that's when you started it was a night game. Yeah. That's when you started the Superman. South Carolina. Yep. So we was like, he a dog. We know we can't allow him to beat us, but he was their running back. He was their quarterback. You know what I mean? He was damn near their receiver too. You know what I mean? So we was like, we can't allow him to beat us. So going into that game was like, man, we got to find a way to stop one. Yeah. That was the whole premise. Stop. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was stop two. Yeah. We got to stop two. And he'll tell you, he had like almost 200 yards rushing. Yeah. Total, they had 600 yards total offense that game, bro.
We had a lot of rushing yards, but that was just giving us confidence that we could run the football. Yeah. And, Gus Malzahn is an offensive genius, an offensive guru who kind of created the Wildcat.
Smoke and mirrors, man. So had eyes going this way,
fast misdirection plays,
and two coming downhill.
And bro, it was early on where I was not ducking no smoke because mentality wise, bro, LSU had this bravado, similar to, and some could argue similar to the Miami Hurricanes kind of bravado, right? That was the time where it's like, man, we here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, what? And like their fan base was just that Cajun tongue, radical, you know what I'm saying? Bayou, just bully. Yep. And I just remember as the game was unfolding, and there was like a respect. I don't think we ever kind of locked eyes, but his presence was so undeniable. It was like, no, I'm not. It was like the pass come in, all right, boom. You kind of analyze over there. It's like, oh, nah, he is closed. Let's stay over here. And that's just what it was, bro. And what people don't realize is we've built so much team chemistry by having close games that year. Yep. We came back from Clemson. Yep. We came back from South Carolina. We were in a dog fight with Arkansas. That was at the time that was the largest scoring game without an overtime. And rest in peace to Ryan Mallett. They had Arkansas at that time. So for us, we were used to close games, right? And we would always have a coach like, man, you got to take them to a dark place. Yeah. Take them to a place they can't swim. We knew facing LSU, their strongest, kind of tier or tactic or badge that they had was the defense. Yeah. Their offense wasn't necessarily as high-powered as their defense was. So if we could control the line of scrimmage, right, and I believe we had a lot of rushing yards, that kind of set the tone. And there was one play, right, where Michaela, Ontario, like late in the third or fourth quarter, we still running our offense.
That jet sweep?
That jet sweep.
Yeah, that was the one that put y'all up 24-17.
For sure.
So y'all know the game, too.
You just know, like, bro, when you go to war, battles, dog. That's like.
You do, man.
So that whole game, everybody would have thought, and it was a read play, right? I had always the decision to make in a split second. I was always looking at the defensive end or a three technique or even a linebacker. So many different ways, to do the quote-unquote zone read. But the defender that I was looking at, I had accumulated so many yards. I'm like, bro, Like, come on, dog. Like, and then, you know, he was such a fast speedster guy. He wasn't a physical runner. So if he could get that edge, dog, it was over with. And
it was.
It just happened. So for us, that kind of propelled our confidence even more. Where, like, during that season, we beat LSU. It's like, okay, like, we belong now.
Yeah.
That game kind of stamped us as, all right, we ain't the little bruh no more. Like, we belong in this type of.
And did that make y'all? How did y'all feel for the rest of the season after losing that game? Because that was our first loss.
Yeah, that was our first loss. We end up, because after that, Auburn is typically our first SEC game. So that was our first SEC loss. So we went on to play Florida. We beat them. We played Alabama, beat them. Then we end up losing to Arkansas, because that's typically our last game of the season, and that's how we end up losing 2 games that year.
Yeah. No, now, backstory to, what's my man, Terrence, the receiver?
Terrence Tolliver.
Terrence Tolliver, bro. Shout out to TT. I was rooting for Florida when y'all went into Ben Hill Griffin and
caught
won.
that fade.
Yes, bro.
Janoris Jenkins.
Terrence Tolliver caught that fade. I was really rooting for Florida, personally.
Yeah.
Because the alignment would have been.
You would have met Florida.
I would have.
Yeah.
In the SEC championship, I was like, oh my God, bro, this is a storybook ending, dog. Like, it would, but I don't even think, me knowing myself, I would have been able to control my emotions.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, that whole year was it was a business
And
trip.
you would have been back home.
I went through the NCAA investigation. It was just so much going on that I was just laser focused. If we would have played Florida in the SEC championship, I don't know if I would have been able to really keep it in the road.
So talking about y'all matchup, but your matchup with wide receivers, give me your top 3.
Top 3.
You hate it and why? Like, you know.
Top 3, I go Calvin Johnson.
Why so?
No particular order. Just because when I went up against him, I knew I was going to guard him every play. Matthew Stafford was going to give him 20 targets or more.
Can you blame him? What are we talking about?
Like, going up against him, I knew it was going to be 5 games in one.
Yeah.
So I go Calvin Johnson, Julio Jones, just because of history that we had. You know, going back to Alabama, you know, Julio actually gave me one of my worst games of my career. And I still vow, it was 2014. It was here in Atlanta. He gave me 197 yards. And literally, it was off just straight comebacks. It was like he ran no other routes, just 18-yard comebacks, 18-yard comebacks, 18-yard comebacks, 18-yard comebacks.
It ain't that, bro.
It wasn't even that. Matt was just putting them in spots to where I couldn't even get him. He toe tapping. So that was my worst game of my career. But me and Julio, like I said, we have a bunch of history. So Julio, and my last one, I'll go with Antonio Brown, just because he played above his shoulders. Like, he was a little guy in frame, but he played like he was 6'4". Like, his speed said he was a 4'6". He played like he was 4'3". You know what I mean? So he played above his shoulders, and he was a guy that you knew you was going to get every ounce of energy, competitive edge. He was going to block, even if the ball wasn't coming to him, like back before he got a little beside himself. But like when he was in it, man, he was a dog, and he was a lot to handle for sure.
Yeah. You know, still staying with the retirement thing, but a blast from the past. Give me your favorite game. Like, when you think about, you know, Patrick Peterson from the standout in Florida, high school to, you know, LSU, obviously, and then just a magnificent NFL career. What game, when you have them sit downs with your daughters, right? You know, them golf tee times.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, man, let me tell y'all this. What game comes to mind in that type of retrospect?
Man, Cam, it's I played 203 games. Let me go. My favorite one. I would say the one that stand out to me the most, though, is my first one. It's our battle. You know, our rookie year, you coming on the scene, I'm coming on the scene. You had 421 yards passing that game.
Yeah.
Steve Smith kind of went off. But what made that game so memorable for me was exactly that was the walk-off. It was like 4 minutes and 21 seconds left in the game, maybe 7-something left in the game. It was tied up. You guys punted it off to me, and I returned that punt for a touchdown. And it was like, that was like my aha
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here moment. And I'm quite sure you felt the same way going out there your first game, throwing for 400 yards.
Listen, I did not know. I did not, bro. I was so locked in that I think it was Captain Munderland. We was on a team bus, and he was like, "Bro, congratulations, Rook." And I'm still, you know, that was a time when Cam will soak up under the towel, and I didn't know how to lose, bro.
Yeah,
like. Coming off of Auburn, we went to the national championship, undefeated, flawless. The year before that, you know, I was in JUCO, won a national championship. I was on the team that won the national championship at Florida. So it was like, yo, bro, I three-peated, you know, everywhere that I went. So now, this being the first season where I'm starting this season with a loss, I mean, I don't too much care about individual success, like contrary to what people may believe now, but it's more like, I wanted to win. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it was that. I remember that game, and it was the first game of the season. There was so much hype, you know, with that. And Arizona, to me, was also the birthplace or the final game that I played in college, because that's where the national championship was. And I said to myself, I was like, bro, they say we got a good matchup in Steve Smith and the rookie. So I'm like, all right, but I know the rookie. Patrick Peterson ain't no joke. But even though we got somewhat some good licks in, he still made an impact, and that just is a testament on great players. Like great players will find ways to insert themselves during a game where it's like, bro, who made that play? Yeah. Of course. And my boy took a punt back. I'm like, bro, that ain't on a scouting report. Like, where do we get that from? And he's always been the individual that was like, I don't know how much you played at, like what weight. You was the cornerback, more physical, and you had unbelievable kind of movement as well too. So from press, bump and run, very, you know, cerebral in zones and manipulating, you know, quarterbacks and certain things. And when the ball's in the air, there's a rarity that happens here because a lot of DBs cannot catch. That's not
or track the ball.
You see what I'm saying? It was certain plays, dog, that it was one that stood out most, and I'm thinking about Pat P. There was a play in particular when I was watching film. And I don't know if you was definitely in Arizona, and you had a one-handed catch and a toe tap in Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo.
And I said, bro, what the? That's a receiver.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those things may not even, like, people forget about those plays, but you made impossible plays so normal, and having that pressure of being matched up with the guy. Yeah. Like, I'm curious to know, what was some of your preparation tactics in a given week? Like, you're facing Julio, you're facing Antonio Brown, you're facing Megatron, right? Like, as the days kind of get, you know, combined, the Monday, do you have a preparation? Tuesday, what was your preparation? Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, take us through it.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a preparation from right after the game. Like, even I take you back during the summertime, during the springtime. I used to get, because I knew I was going to have the guys for the most part. Yeah. I used to get every rep that the receiver that we was going to be playing that year against, how they were against press. So I'm watching the guys, how they working against press, what their movements are, how they're hand fighting against the other DBs, and what can I do to make my press game better or affect them in the quarterback timing. So now going in, after I watch the film and have a kind of understanding how they react to certain guys when they press, if it's guys, do they like guys when they're closer, further back, quick jam, this, that, and the other. So I go throughout the week. My first thing I'm watching, because I already watched how they are in press. I'm watching the game they previously played, seeing, you know, how the coordinator wanted to integrate the receiver. Okay. So now I'm watching that, seeing how they get integrated in the game. Tuesday come, that's the off day. So now I'm watching first and second down passes. Watching what they do first and second down passes. And when I get back home, I'm watching also my miscellaneous stuff, their lineups, when they motion, when he's +2, +3 from the numbers, what routes he's running when he's away from the ball from the hashes. Correct. You know what I mean? Things like that. So then Wednesday, Now I'm coming into practice. You know we going over first and second down.
First and second
so now
down.
I'm already pre-prep. I know what I'm going to get. So now I'm pretty much sparring now.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my feet wet. So now after practice, I'm getting on to third down the red zone.
Yep.
So I'm looking at third down red zone. I go home. After practice, watch it, go over some notes, go home, watch it, go over some third down the red zone again. So now when I get to practice, as you know, we going over third down the red zone in practice. So now I'm already pre-quilled to some of the things that I'm already going to see. And Friday is basically a rehearsal over everything. Saturday, I'm watching the last 3 games to see if I missed anything on how they integrated the receiver in the into the game. And on Sunday, I watched the first 15 of the last 3 games.
That's a lot of footage, boy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of processing. Man, your little rainbow for the Mac users would have been spinning.
So you know what when I tell guys when they be like, man, how they jump that route? As DB, it's all about probability. I'm playing the probability, right? So like I just said, what is? It's only so many routes that receive. Yeah, down the distance, and it's only so many routes that receiver's going to run from a +2 split. When the ball is away, and now he has a -2 split, so that's typically he can still have the opportunity to run an outside route.
Yeah.
So as a DB, I'm process eliminating.
I'm eliminating the possibilities of that. Now, what as a defensive back, what got you to press versus play off? Still playing man versus the receiver.
Me, I was always a bigger guy. Like, me and Richard Sherman kind of started the wave of teams wanting to have bigger corners.
Right.
So I always been this size when I was in high school. Like my senior year in high school, I was 6 foot, 190 pounds.
Yeah. Running.
Yeah. So,
running.
So I always loved the physicality part of the game, and I always felt like if I'm a defensive back, I feel more effective the closer I am to the receiver. Like, I don't want to give the receiver an opportunity to start full speed and I'm backpedaling and I got to figure some stuff out. Nah, I want to be able to play into my strength. So I always been a press corner, literally since high school. That's all I knew.
So to that point, right, you speak about a guy like a Richard Sherman, right? And when we have these debates of who is the greatest defensive back of all time, now it's going down to categories, right? Because categories is, I may not have played press man to man. I was more of a zone specialist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can literally manipulate, and they were in your divisions. Seattle, from the offensive side, we knew that they were going to stay in some type of form of quarters that was going to be masked with a one-high shell. Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, the Legion of Boom was at its peak when we were there, right? But for you having that team in the division, those guys like Sherman would just sit back. He's off around about 8 or 9 yards back to the sideline, just looking at the quarterback's, demeanor. But for you, right, as you're going up against a bigger guy, did you have a preference? Would you want a bigger guy versus a smaller guy, or would you have wanted a smaller guy versus the big guy?
I definitely wanted a bigger guy over a smaller guy, just because they fell right into my hands. You know what I mean? So there was less movement with their shoulders. Like, so I can actually see what I'm hitting. Like, Deshaun Jackson, hated going up against him because he did a great job of, first of all, they used to motion him all the time. So I never had the opportunity to really, have him, get my hands on him. He used to do this amazing job of just dipping his shoulders.
Getting skinny.
And once he dipped that shoulder, if he's even, he's leaving.
Real talk. He out of here.
No doubt about it. So I definitely would prefer a bigger receiver over a smaller receiver.
Yeah.
As you talk about now in the game, as you sit back and we talk about these great DBs and corners and safeties, who do you see next up? There's so many different DBs in the game. But from your eyes, who do you see, like, a few that's like next up as that guy?
Yeah, Pat Surtain, obviously the reigning defensive MVP.
What about his game, man? If you can give me like a little bit about their game that you like that they do.
Man, I love everything about Pat's game. He's physical. He has great patience at the line of scrimmage. He can track the football. He will tackle. he's going to guard the number 1 receiver. He's interchangeable. He can play the nickel. He can play outside. You know, so by him able to doing that now early in his career is just going to prolong his career. Yeah, sure, you know, it's kind of like what I did. You know, having an opportunity to play nickel, safety, pretty much all 3 positions in Pittsburgh. You know, I like what Sauce was doing early on in his career. Last year, I didn't quite like what he was doing. He got to be able to stick his nose in the fan if he wanted to be able to get a payday, because he can cover. But there's certain things that you have to do to be considered that guy as at that position. I love Trent McDuffie out in Kansas City. Yeah. Love what he brings to the table. Young guy out of Baltimore, man, came from Clemson.
Oh, he's from Atlanta. Nate Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins. Love his game, man. Got great size, great ball skills. He just got to learn how to catch the ball. Yeah. He's always in the facility. He just got to learn how to catch the ball.
Because you don't get no freebies, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you don't, man.
When you get those freebies, there are certain players, like going back to his greatness, like you knew if that ball was tipped in the vicinity of Patrick Peterson, he was going to burn you.
Yeah.
Right? No matter if you had 100 yards on him or you had -5 on him.
Yeah.
When that ball's in jeopardy, right? Y'all had a group where Tyrann Mathieu, those guys are ball hawks, bro. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's a difference when, okay, if I'm throwing the ball and he has an opportunity to make a play on it. Making a play is a bat down.
Yeah.
Okay, swat, cool. But some DBs, it's like, no, I'm trying to pick it off.
I'm trying to get that book.
And not only am I trying to pick it off, I'm trying to take over. I'm trying to score, bro. Like, it's certain things that you just know as an opponent, as you're preparing for a player. It's like, dog, I can't give him that opportunity. And sometimes the greatness even more is he's in my head.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, it's 3rd and 6. Gotta do it. I have to. I gotta give my guy a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now he's doing that probability. He's saying, well, short split. Nope, he can't go in, or he don't want to go in. All right, boom. The game on the line.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the sticks. What we at? The 50-yard line.
Exactly what I be doing.
It's a whole chess game.
It's a whole process of elimination, though, for sure, dog. And I just think that a lot of people, it's always intriguing and empowering for the people to hear how football players think. Because oftentimes, even with this show, we've just dropped Football 101 and we've gotten so much, impressions, and people's like, yo, like, no, talk more about football. It's because they think, and, we watch film how, the coaches copy. Or not the coaches copy, the TV copy. It's like, no, bro, we never really watched that. I remember specifically Luke would always watch a form of the TV copy loud just to get the signals. But if you break the huddle or you in 2-minute drill and then you see this signal, it's like, okay, that's a drive combination. So I'm going to sit heavy inside. Hey, if you get this elbow, hey, man, that's a corner. Okay, cool. I'm going to stand outside. Or it's like, yo, every time they go 3rd and 8 to 10, they going to run some form of comeback at the sticks like they're trying to get a first down. Right? Or knowing it's a rookie quarterback. Oh, man, he going by the book.
Exactly.
Like, these are all the things.
He a rookie.
For sure. Like,
100%.
you don't have no customizations in the playbook yet, or should I say, you don't feel confident with giving customization.
But that's my question too, though. Like, even for both of you all, it's a chess match. But how do you know, as a Warrior, like, I'm in their head? So if it's like what you, Pat, like, if you see a quarterback, you're like, bro, he done threw a pick. I'm in his head now. Like, how do you know somebody is shook on the other side of the ball?
Man, we had a lot of matchups. Obviously, the first one that we played in college at LSU, my first game in the NFL, we played each other, and we had a lot of matchups in the playoffs, in the wild card. And one particular playoff, bro, I threw 3 interceptions. And I'm like, bro, they had Cromartie. I'm like, bro, I can't get a break. You know what I'm saying? But they literally... And there was one time, like, we was up, and I threw it. I tried to throw it to Ed Dixon, and lo and behold, Pat Peter picked it off.
That's the NFC Championship.
Now it's like, okay, I done threw it. He picked it. He running. Now, as a player, it's like, okay, I'm looking around. I ain't trying to get my block knocked off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, let me be a safety. I'm like, somebody tackle him.
Right.
And somebody tackle him. Oh, he getting close. Somebody tackle this nigga, man. He on the run. You know what I'm saying, bro? He took it back all the way. I believe
Like
it was
20,
in the goal line.
yeah.
And luckily, it was
there.
like it was a turnover, so
Yeah,
that didn't cost us. But going to your question, Peg, it was like, bro, they were in my brain. It impacts or affects throwing decisions.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, boom, a typical 1, 2, 3, boom, let it go. Now it's like, man, hey, let me throw the ball on the sideline. I got to feel, you know what I'm saying? The leather ain't feeling right.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you call it, you see the play call. It's like, dang, bro, it's 2nd and 8. All right, cool. I could probably get away with it. 3rd and 3. Bump it. Here we go. Boom. 1, 2, 3. And now he done got held up or threw off of a jam. It's like, nah. But that's the game you play, bro. That's the game inside the game.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say. When the quarterback has that, when we come back to the sideline and he has that throw and he second guess or have that hitch in it, yeah, we got him.
I wouldn't be me if I don't get a little toxic.
Yes, sir.
Who did you love to play against because you knew in the scouting report he was going to give you one?
Oh, man. I got a couple.
Come on with it.
I got to go Sam Bradford because I got most interceptions off him. I think I got 6 off Sam.
No way.
Yeah.
It was easy.
I got 6 off Sam. And the second one, whoever the Rams quarterback was. Like
during your tenure.
Yeah, during my tenure there.
That was your best team when you went.
Listen,
playing
the
the Rams.
Rams.
Oh, it's a career day.
Yeah, punt return touchdowns, interceptions, had 2 picks one game. Yeah,
We
the
racking
Rams.
up on the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams.
We racking up on the Rams. We racking up.
Road to glory. You know what I'm saying? You playing video games. You know? But, you mentioned, my last thing is, you mentioned, getting into broadcasting, right? With guys like, you mentioned them, Deshaun Jackson, Deion Sanders, Eddie George, Michael Vick.
Yep.
All these former players getting into coaching. Could you ever see yourself being one of those guys, to coach at some capacity?
You know what, Cam? That's a good question, but as of right now, no. I believe my girls will need to be out of the house. I spent 13 years, of my life, 13 years of my life in the league of dedicating time, waking up early in the morning, sacrificing, not being at, certain things. So I believe the girls got to be out of the house. If there is something I want to do in football, it would have to be up in the upper management. Like I would want to have the opportunity to run a team, like make some decisions on how a team, what players they should go after, or the direction the team should go in. But coaching, that's something that's very, very far-fetched for me right now.
Man, there's a quote that I've always heard, and it always was true. I've never been a part of a coach that was a great father. A great coach was never a great father. Yeah. A great father was never a great coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Time it took.
And I say that subjectively because I played in the NFL with Bill Belichick and Ron Rivera. Now, Ron, both of them had something in common. Their family was a part of the team. Right? I don't know if you knew or not, but you knew Peg. His Ron Rivera's daughter was heavily involved in the social media and the content, right? Well, Bill Belichick's sons was coaching,
on the staff
as well too. So he was blending or tie-dyeing a lot of the things that would bleed into his personal and his professional kind of life too. But that level of dedication, where 5 a.m.s, heaven forbid it's in college where you gotta recruit.
Man. You're on the road.
It's a lot, man. And I always get asked that question, and I'm like, man, coaching the 7-on-7 team is filling my bucket now. I don't want to necessarily, breach that, because you fall into a routine of waking up, taking the kids, your kids seeing you at home, and it's sad that even how I'm introduced, right, when I'm around my kids at their school or around their peers, it's like that's the man that's on YouTube. They don't necessarily know like
You play football.
you know I play football, right? And that's a good thing, but also understanding like, bro, like you gotta evolve, bro.
Yeah,
like
you have to, man.
So yeah, I'll say that, man. Anything?
As you all move away from the game of football, it's kind of like former or veterans or military people back into civilization.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And seeing Cam's process of like when he stopped playing and coming in and doing like as a regular civilian, you know what I'm saying? You just started to see some stuff. And so obviously you got into golf, but just, you know, in your normal day to take your kids to school and do this and do that. It's like, you know, we talked a little bit off camera. It's like, well, you know, naturally you play the game of golf and it's quiet.
Right.
Know? With you, goal links, but finding some type of activity. Like what has been, how do you play the game of golf? But what is one of the things that's the toughest thing?
That scratches your competitive edge.
Yeah. So it's that, honestly, golf. You know what I mean? I had an opportunity to start, you know, goal links with a couple guys here in Atlanta, David Leaks, and a couple of my friends, Billy Jones. And it's just basically a community of guys, and we just go travel and play dope golf courses. And it's not like you see the PGA, it's all quiet, everybody clapping. No,
It's ratchet.
Yeah, we gambling. You know, we talking trash. You know, we having those locker room conversations. So after we're done playing, we'll go into the men's grill, play some games like seven. Have this game called 7.5 Pig. We'll play a little Boo-Ray. Spades, you know, whatever it is.
Watch out now, you cursing.
Yeah, so
Spades. I know somebody standing beside you. You probably could take advantage of when that spades time.
Now let me tell you something.
I know somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Boy, I got my PhD in smack talking.
Yeah.
Boy, I'll make you feel this small, boy. I'll make you turn your whole career upside down, boy. You won't feel like nothing. You say you went to LSU, boy. You went to LS Tech, boy. You know, get out of there, boy. You ever been to Maine, boy? I'm going to take you up there, boy.
Yeah.
You in the Boston? You got to stop in Boston first.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I'm there.
All right, yeah. So all of that, man. So you know, that's something that kind of keeps my competitive juices flowing right now. But honestly, when I was playing, I kind of started to get myself in that pedestrian mode. You know what I mean? Like on Tuesdays, taking my kids to school, going to, when I was in Arizona, Fry's was the grocery store, doing things like that, because I knew at some point
it's over.
Exactly. Yeah. So I didn't want to be, when it was over, I get into the real world, be like, oh man, what the hell I do now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, I was always trying to connect dots and put things in place to where when I did walk away from the game, I'm gonna be more than comfortable and still doing the things that I love to do.
Yes. Man, listen, bro. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your insight.
Yes, sir.
You know, man, I always admired you as a player, a father, a family man, and just a person too. You know, these days you got to mention this person has always kept the main thing. The main thing, we've never seen or heard about Patrick Peterson off the field, right? Where so many athletes fall victim to circumstances, whether intentional or not. Man, you've always been a model citizen, and I appreciate you for that, being a figure in our community that is like, yo, he did it, I can do it too.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Pat P, from everybody here at 4th and 1, man, as we end things, man, when I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say one love. When I say all together, we're going to say what?
One love.
Here we go, man, one finger. He over here throwing games.
I've been saying.
I'm throwing games. He over here throwing like, hey, man.
I know you kind of end like this. Let's do it over.
Hey, hip, sift it. Here we go, man. We got one finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Man, appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Peterson, everybody.